One.
Welcome to Week 6 review of Chicago Baseball, Week 7 preview. Coming to you on a Monday night, a little different because of Mother's Day. Yesterday we took off while I gave my ex-mom the business. So I was balls deep in her. I made sure her Mother's Day was fantastic. As
You you
always,
fu- you fulfilled her Mother's Day is what you're telling me.
I did. I did. As
That's good.
always, I'm joined by my partner in crime, the commish Kids for the Win. What's up, buddy?
Not much at all. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there and everywhere, here nor there or everywhere
Absolutely.
else.
Absolutely the best. And your
Your
mom.
mom was glowing after I left
Oh, yeah. Why is that?
because she had cum all over her face.
That's what gets that soft skin, I guess. Thanks a lot. So you think you're a little prepped? You ready for on Monday night or
Yeah,
something?
I was just about to say I like Monday nights a lot better because I got to do a lot of prep, a little note taking here, 2 sheets of the weekly recaps, and yeah, I'm ready to go, buddy.
Wow, you were busy
I
during
might
the
have to get
dinner
a
break.
second beer for the weekend.
Have to get backup plan, backup beer of the week.
It's here. The fridge is down here. We're
Excellent.
good.
All right, we'll jump into the non-fantasy baseball topic. Since the last couple weeks, there's been a lot of records being broken, milestones reaching. Pujols with his 2,000 RBI, CC with his 3,000 K. Pujols is pretty close to 700 homers at 660 41. He'll probably stick around for 700. Cabrera, he's in the 1600s for RBIs. He'll probably stick around for 2,000. CC's in the 600 or 248 wins. He'll probably stick around for 300 wins. And then Verlander, Scherzer, and Greinke, Nicole Hamels are all in the range of getting 3,000 hits or 3,000 Ks. Seems like because of these contracts and stuff, players are playing longer, starting earlier. But it seems like these milestones are going to be doable just because of guys sticking around and teams feeling they have to play them because they're paying them.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you hear the guy who caught Pujols' 2000's RBI, right? That's what it was. He
Mm-hmm.
said he changed his mind. He's either going to give it to Pujols or he'll give it to Cooperstown, but he doesn't want any money or anything like that. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that. Someone's going to give you something for it. You're not just giving that up for nothing.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. There's someone's going to drop off something
yeah,
at this
exactly.
place.
Um, I, you know, I don't know. Like, so the one me and you talked about, I don't know, it was early in the week, was Buster Posey. So he still has, I don't know, I think he's signed through 2024. I'm probably going to be wrong about that. I'm sure someone like Drew will probably hit me up and say you're a dumbass and you're wrong. But I do know that Brandon Belt is signed for 2 more years at $19 million. So now you got to look at someone who's not very good at, his skills are diminished, if you will, at catching. They have that young prospect Bart or whatever his name is. I should have looked this up, but they got someone coming up. He can't play first base. And then who was talking about him maybe possibly playing second? Paul Sporer as
Yeah.
like a just throwing it out there kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's not going to happen. So like you look, is Posey just going to be, hey, we'll throw him at first base, we'll throw him at catching first base. I mean, after a while, he's not going to be able to catch another year or so. So what do you do with him? But he's a god. Used to call Matt.
Yes, you did.
Wow, it's called Matt Wieters a god. I think Posey was the more righteous one, or more acceptable one, correct way to say it. Anyways, I don't know. What would you do if it was my team and I'm paying them? I'd say, Buster Posey, thank you very much for all your services. Here's your money. Get the fuck out. But these teams are not going to do that with players. They're just not. They're going to keep them there. They're going to pay them. They're going to wait for him to leave. I mean, look at the last one I could think of was what, Joe Mauer. He
Yeah.
played until his contract was up, all the way up until like the second to last day. I mean, dude played it. And look at, Bruce Bochy. He's got like the swang song. Is that how you say it? Whatever the fuck it's called. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, leave. Just get anybody else in there. Me or you can manage the Giants right now. They suck so bad. And I don't like it. I think it's bad for baseball. I think it takes the teams that are bad and makes them worse. And there's no room to play the guys. I mean, doesn't MLB have that stupid or the thing? Just let the kids play. Let
Yeah.
the kids play. Bring your young guys up. Let them play. And these old farts, move on. Sorry, your time has come.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know. That's how I view it, and it's not going to be like that. That's baseball is one of those old things. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially, it'd be interesting when Harper and Machado, I know they have some opt outs like around year 5 or
Yeah,
well, Machado does, but like Harper, he's gonna be what, 38, 37,
37, 30.
37,
Yeah,
when his last year, is he gonna be worth anything? He's not gonna be able, unless the National League switches over to the DH, he's gonna be very similar to Albert Pujols, probably just a name, an old name that goes out there and can hit every now and then, but he's not gonna really uh, give anything else really. But
yeah.
but like I said, it's something. It's still something I noticed the last couple weeks, and it'll be interesting how that plays out. Um, I know you wanted to talk about kind of like how teams build. Like we see major league teams, but fantasy teams are being built or
Yeah,
put
kind of playing
together.
off. Yeah, kind of playing off of. Well, I don't know if it's playing off of what you did, but whatever. We'll say it is and just go with it. But it's been 6 weeks, and I'm not saying that you could look at the standings and say that such and such team that's in 12th place, your team, and a team that's in first place, my team. And
Thanks.
that,
Yeah.
no problem. Is that like, that's it. That's the way it's going to be. But, I mean, you can get an idea of it, I think, in the first 6 weeks. And I was looking a little deeper into it and kind of get an idea of like, all right, well, who needs what, maybe for trades. And then I was like, you know what? It's kind of funny the way different teams are built. And I was also listening to different podcasts about this, and just kind of take my team for example, and a couple other teams, kind of just look at them, and it's the way everyone builds their team, right? And
Mhm.
how we do have a very specific league, and how we have prospects and we hold on to players, we have contracts and things like that. But I mean, my team, for example, like the OBP, I kind of threw it out the window. I wanted guys to hit home runs, RBIs. I wanted, I would say I'm pretty good at picking pitching. And I know, I'm not an expert, but I listen to a lot of people and I try to pick what I want. Again, I've said this before. I spent $12 on a pitching staff, and it's one of the best ones, I think, in our league. And, I have a little knack for it, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucking lucky. But
A combination of both, I feel.
yeah.
You've done
So
your
I
work,
have
but
a
you
little bit of
also
a
have some
strategy.
lucky.
Yeah, and then I also know too, though, that I'm gonna love these prospects that come up. I'm gonna have them sit on my bench and waste away, and just it's probably gonna hurt me in the long run. I look at Scotty's team and Niz team, for example. They both have a lot of stolen base guys. Um, I I think that their teams are a little bit different than a lot of other teams.
Okay, you're back.
I don't know if it's a team that will work or won't work. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying any of that stuff. I just think that people build their teams differently. And I was wondering, could you take a team that was built around a player of like a $50 player? And I'm taking my team, for example, here. I was looking at different teams. I even looked at Scotty's team. Scotty didn't spend money on one single player more than 25 or somewhere around that range. So could you take a team, how teams are built? Could you just take a team and, let's say, build it and have a mediocre team going into the season, but keep that 50 some odd dollars that you were going to spend on a superstar, let's say. And again, our league is different. We have contracts and AAA guys. You can bring guys up, but let's say you kept that $50 and used it to play the waiver wire. So you were just going to play the waiver wire, and I was going to just take my team. I had Judge at $53. So if I took him and I took him away, and I know he's hurt, but just let's say his stats, what he's done last year to this year, and could I find an outfielder that would produce the same thing? And I looked at it, and there was 3 outfielders that I came up with, which was Dwight Smith Jr., who started out really hot, Cole Calhoun, who has just been steady Eddie for the first month and a half or so, and then Hunter Pence. Those are the three guys I came up with. And there's more people than that. Hunter Pence actually has been hot of this last week.
Oh yeah, he's been on fire.
He's been on fire, right? So even if I started out with Dwight Smith and I'm like, hey, Dwight Smith, you're gonna be the guy that I start with. You're starting good. 25 runs, 8 home runs, 27 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, and a 333 OBP. I already said that my team was not going to be an OBP team. So why can't I just start with that guy? Move on from him to Cole Calhoun in the next couple of weeks, who has had a 24-9, 24-2, 324. That's just his line, to date. And then see that Hunter Pence has been hot and go with him, who has 9, 7, 25, 1, and 389. Now, if I played those three guys over the course of this month and a half, all three of their stats combined. Yes, I'm not combining them. 2 weeks of Dwight Smith, 2 weeks of Cole Calhoun, 2 weeks of Hunter Pence puts me at 6 weeks, right? That's where we are now, week 7.
Yes.
And I would have a better stat line than if I would have had almost anybody else. Now, I understand. Understandably, I have to pick the right people and I have to spend the money on this. But again, I had $53 that I did not spend at the draft. I take that $53, I implement it into this waiver wire system, if you will, for hitters, not pitchers, because I think we do that a lot with the pitching staff. But just keep my eyes and ears to to what everyone else is talking about. I think it's a strategy that could work. No one's ever done this. I've never seen anybody do this. And I'm just talking about one position, just outfield. So you'd have to have a core of 2, maybe 3 outfielders. And maybe this is a person you change in with your utility. And it has to be someone you're always changing over, unless, hot streaks are hot streaks. And speaking of hot streaks, like Tommy La Stella. Dude, over just the last week, Tommy still has 4 runs, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, and no stolen bases, but has a 471 OBP. I mean, 471 OBP, I don't think I could get that if you added my last 3 weeks up together.
No.
Or my whole team. No. And, I'm not going to get too much more into this, but this is kind of go into my, fucking get in the box type of thing later on, my rant. And just how managers build their teams is interesting. And I think that kind of looking at everyone's different teams, I don't know if everyone even kind of built their team in a way to win. I just think that they like players. Oh, I like this player, and I'm going to put him on my team, and that's it. It's not really it's building a team is how I'm going to play fantasy. It's more like just players and on the team. And that, I mean, it is what we do. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think that there's, from what I see, that much strategy is building the team together, except for some teams. Like I said, Scott's team, his team, I do see that. And maybe the strategy's out there and I just don't see it. I could be dead wrong on this, and I'm sure I'll get tons of text messages and email that I'm an idiot. But when I see it, I don't see it that much. Or if they're there, they're small. So,
I think everyone at least has an idea of what they want to do, but I think you're right. A lot of it has to go off of rankings and other things like that, instead of thinking about like a strategy, or at least trying something other than just the old ranking or whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, you want, I know there's got to be some of it's just players you like and things like that, but a lot of my strategy going into this season was to put a team together of different players that did a certain thing so that they could to win certain categories, and that's where I put the team together. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna go a little more into my my rant, but we have a guest, Dom.
Yeah, you sent. All right, we have the champ is joining us today. Dave, how are you?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Good to see you. I see the belt is very shiny.
I did polish it up.
I'm sure it's been polished with something. All right.
Oh shit! You guys are already drinking.
Yeah. Were you gonna wait? Why would you? This isn't like open the beer now and drink it. You start drinking it beforehand.
You poured last week, so I figured the pour was the important thing.
It kind of is. We're going to get into the matchups. Before we do the matchups, Dave, you're first with Sean and
Your beer of the week. Do you want
your
to do
beer
your
of the
beer of
week?
the week, Dave?
Yeah.
Or
I got to get a little drink on here. So,
I figured you did already.
real quick, beer of the week. Inspired by my win over Mexico this week.
You beat Mexico. Personally, you beat Mexico.
Yeah. La Resistance this week. So the premier Mexican in the league too, not the bottom dweller Memo. So
I didn't know Dom was a Mexican,
Dom is not a Mexican. I didn't
but
meet Dom.
he's in last place.
Dave would be last in Roto rankings according to Niz's drunk ass. So
Well,
whatever.
Niz has to do something to make himself feel better.
The podcast is already great.
All right. So
Go ahead. What's your beer? Sorry.
All right. Beers from Mobcraft brewery up in Milwaukee. Really cool brewery. They actually vote. They get ideas from their consumers. They put them up on Facebook and vote for what they should make. So really cool. This one is a agave cream ale, barrel aged in tequila barrels.
Wow.
So nice.
Sounds really good.
Nice little 9%er. Got to have the glass.
very nice.
Very nice.
So I should be toasty by the end of this.
Outstanding. So a nice little 5-4 victory for yourself last week, Evil Resistance.
Yeah, I will take that. It was a close matchup up until probably Thursday, Friday when Sean's team decided to quit hitting. So I was happy for that.
Yeah, you definitely were all offense. Pitching, Sean had a strong 8 quality starts. Pretty good whip.
I put that down there.
Pretty good
8
whip.
quality starts. That's impressive. Doesn't matter how many you got going, but 8 quality starts is impressive.
Nice home runs from you, Dave, and runs. And you guys tied stolen bases. But yeah, a solid win against Sean for sure.
Yeah, I think, I'm on the upswing now. I lost a couple at the beginning of the year, tied a couple. Now I got the win. So should be smooth sailing from here.
You had the last 2 weeks, Dave, you played PJ, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing I think, if you go back 2 weeks, me and Dom were talking about it, is that I think I even wrote down is that I wrote down your line 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now, and I wrote down PJ's line 3 weeks ago, and I looked at it and I'm like, that's solid. It's just what it is. It's a solid hitting line. I wrote down the exact same thing. Solid hitting, 45, 13, 34, 4, 365 OBP. You've managed that for 3 or 4 weeks now, continuously straight. No, that's just what it's been. I think that's, we're going to get into it, like, next to me and Dom's hitting it, and stuff like that. I think with the home run or the hot ball that we have, the juice ball, that's pretty good to continue hitting at that level and that consistency for that many weeks. And you haven't picked up too many people that I looked at you here and there, you picked up people, but that's impressive. I think that could sustain, if it can sustain it, which it has so far, that'd be a solid, team going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I would say, I got Mookie Betts has got to pick it up a little bit more. He's got to start stealing.
If he's not doing that, and that's still pretty good.
Right. So I feel good about the offense. Pitching has not panned out the way I wanted it to, but hopefully if I can steal a couple categories each week, I'll be all right. We'll see how that goes. My pitching was actually pretty good the first 2 weeks when I was losing. It wasn't that bad, and then it's just gone downhill from there. But we'll see. So if not, I will reap the rewards of a really good team if I ever decide to sell.
Yeah, you're getting Kershaw. He's been looking good, and Wheeler's been looking pretty good of late with his strikeouts and that. So, and then Stroman's been kind of up and down. But yeah, you got some decent pitching.
Need a little luck, but I think not like anybody's really hugely separated. I mean, the pack from 4 on down is pretty close.
True, it is. Wheeler had a nice 11 Ks the other day too.
Right.
Yeah, he's done that a couple, 2 or 3 starts. He's done that. So,
yeah.
2 of his 3 starts, he's had at least 10 Ks. So, yeah, he's been doing well, and Kershaw's been pitching well as long as he stays healthy. You got some. You be evaluate your offense has been pretty solid. So if you get the pitching going, you're going to be definitely a force to be reckoned with. You are a champion, so
Thank God it's not a roto league.
exactly. But congratulations on beating the Mexican last week on his holiday of Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, I figured I would celebrate it at the end of the week with a victory.
Nice. All right, on to mine and Maddie's matchup. Congratulations, son, on the 6-4 victory. Not unlike your 10-0 prediction.
No, it was not.
Me mostly offense. You pitching. Our offense definitely was down this week until like Saturday, Sunday when we started hitting a couple homers. But runs, I beat you by 1, homers by 2, and saves by 1. But yeah, 101 Ks for you this week. That's impressive. That's impressive.
My pitching staff's impressive. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna throw my beer a week in there. You okay, Domino, with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a Rubicon by 18th Street Brewery from Hammond, Indiana.
Very good.
Isn't Michael Jackson from Hammond, Indiana?
Gary, I thought.
Gary, whatever. Fucking Indiana.
Yes, we got that, at least that correct, Drew.
Yeah.
So.
It's a West Coast style IPA. I've been West Coast. How can you do West Coast? West Coast. But it's an easy drink. Yeah, it's an easy drinking IPA. I thought not like on the fruitier side of things, but it has a not as harsh as an IPA usually is. And it's not like the what's it called? What's the other IPA called? It's the New England style, but I do like it. I like the West Coast. The can's really, really cool. It's got like all these like dinosaurs on it, kind of like Game of Thrones style.
No, they do awesome artwork.
Yeah, they really do.
And actually, a little info on that brewery. One of the only African American brewers in the country.
Really?
Yep, he's considered one of the best. Has an amazing stout. Really like him. Very heavy metal too, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I can see that from the design, but it was cool. I got a 6-pack of them, so I mean a 4-pack of Tall Boys, so it was really good.
I will go into my beer of the week.
Yep, go for it.
I have one from Colorado, the Silver Bullet, the most refreshing beer. No, not really. My real beer of the week is from 21st Amendment, Hell or High Watermelon. Very tasty, very light. So I was looking for something blueberry, but didn't have any luck. So watermelon was the next closest thing. So
yeah, that looks good.
Artwork.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But going to our team, Domino, I mean, what the F is wrong with my OBP? 240. I know it's bad, but I mean, I knew it was gonna be bad, I guess, going into the season. But that is just sad. I mean, like, I don't think
if you 200 this week.
I was trying to. I was texting you. I'm like, if I can get under 200 for the week, like that's impressive. I was even gonna sit some people. I did have 2 stolen bases, so I won stolen bases.
Yes, I had 0 back-to-back weeks, so I did get a stolen base tonight, though.
Yes,
I'll cover that later.
I had 101 Ks, 3 saves, 7 quality starts, a 3.32 ERA, and a 1.08 WHIP. If that's not fucking good, I don't know what is. So come and suck my doc.
I want to say on the 101 Ks on 76 innings pitched. That's impressive.
Oh yeah, I know. Thank you.
But
you're very humble there. Buddy.
Now, if you can only fix your offense, then you can make a complete team.
Hey, you can talk shit when you're in first place. Just so you know, you're not in first place.
Just so you know, if you played me this week, you would have lost.
Well, I didn't. If your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle, right?
Yeah, that's J-Bomb.
Or she just had to be your aunt with balls. Whatever. I was gonna say though, but Bregman is fucking fantastic again for you. Your hitters can carry your team, maybe if you don't sell, if you do, whatever. But 39 RBIs again, coming from 27, I think on Friday. That's impressive. 39 again, 3 weeks in a row. Kind of going back to what I was saying about Dave's team. There's been a couple of teams that consistently that home run. You didn't have, how many home runs did you have? You had 9.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I
know
have
you
Jay
had,
Davis again this week.
yeah. So all right, fine. I mean,
But yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's something you can throw in there. I mean, you're throwing him in there, a healthy Chris Davis. Maybe he was playing all, he wasn't fucking playing outfield in Pittsburgh. Maybe he was playing somewhere else in DH, and give you 3-4 more home runs. You're looking at 9, maybe 12 home runs and maybe 46 RBIs again. That's 3 weeks in a row for you being consistent on that aspect of things again. I think, I can't speak for Dave's team or your team, but using the second utility spot has really shown that RBIs are going up every week. There's a consistency or there's a bar, more or less there's a bar. There's not the 7, RBIs are higher. Everyone, to win RBIs, you're going to have to go a little higher. That's all I'm saying. So it was 6-4 is a lot closer than I thought it was. I'm not going to lie. 10 zip. No, I did not think I was going to get that because I knew I was going to lose OBP. But yeah, it was a good week.
I really thought my pep talk was going to get me stolen bases this week, but it's going to be a struggle for me. But yeah, congratulations, buddy. It was a close, hard-fought victory. I know our offense wasn't what we thought it was going to be early in the week, but it came around near the end of the weekend. So,
and I'm going to go the second. Sorry, I'm just jumping in before you go in. I know we don't have a lot of time, but Gummy Vortex Northeast Indian Pale Ale, the guy down the street, my local liquor store guy, called me up last night and said, I got a beer in for you, might like it. I went and got a 4-pack of this for $10.99. I thought it was pretty good.
It's a very good deal.
Yeah. He throws me some good deals every once in a while. And this shit is good.
What are you giving him to get those good deals?
Usually I lick his asshole.
And Maddie, show the top of the can.
Oh yeah, this is awesome.
So they do that. It's a full release top can instead of just your little pop top. And they do that to release aroma, so it has better flavor.
I mean, I do a full release on Dom's mom, and she usually gets most of the aroma on that too. But anyways, this is phenomenal. I'm gonna, me and Joe are gonna be probably going here. I'll go with anybody. You guys, anybody wants to go to Lamont with me? Let's go.
They're not in Lamont.
They're in
Lombard.
Lombard.
Yeah, Lombard.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So and a
they're next to
information on them. They just bought a huge place next to them. Used to be Whirly Ball, so they bought Whirly Ball. They're expanding, and they bought a 30,000 square foot warehouse facility in Naperville. So they're actually getting even larger.
Wow,
that's awesome.
They're really good.
Cool.
Wow, Dave giving us the information.
Yeah, Dave, the info's coming out of Dave like that's just seductive.
It's like I should own a brewery.
Yes.
Yeah. Or just read information that comes out on the internet and repeat it on this podcast. I'm just kidding.
I go and get it firsthand. I do want to say something before we go off of your game there. I find it interesting that you push for OBP to get that switch from average to OBP, and your OBP is just horrendous. Not that we're gonna hit on that, but Mr. Get as many at bats as he can and everything. Dom had 21 more hits. That's a lot. He out hit you by quite a bit. You got to pick that up because if you don't hit home runs, you don't hit the ball. That's going to catch up to you.
No, that's true. I also had 2 rainouts. So I mean, I had four players that didn't play, but that's fine.
But 6 less at bats.
Yeah, that's a lot less bats. 4 players that didn't play, they're all going to get at least. Let's say you get 3 at bats. That's 4 times 3. That's 12 at bats. I did not get this week.
On the flip side, I had Sean who had more at bats than I did, and I still hit him.
No, it's true, and I mean, and I do like OBP. I saw the last couple years that looking at OBP going forward, I've been low on home runs every year. Every year I've been really, really low on home runs. And going back to how you build your team, I looked at that. I created a spreadsheet and I created a mathematical equation that gave me what if I had these players and I took their stats for the season, what that would give me every week. And I saw that if you had 47 9, 47, 3, and a 3, I think it was a 365 OBP, you could win those categories on average every week. So I said, whoa, what's more possible? Me getting 9 home runs and those RBIs, or me getting that OBP? And it was literally impossible to get the players and spend the amount of money I had in the draft to get that OBP and all those other stats. But if I spent less money and got almost no OBP, I could get those other counting stats. So I took a hit on OBP, and I knew I was going to. I mean, Franmil Reyes is just he's brutal. Like, I mean, I think he had 2 hits in the whole week, but the 2 hits combined for 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. So fuck it, I'm gonna win that with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. Who cares, OBP? But I do like it. I think it's still better for the league in whole, and I think it's better for what we're gonna play for. So.
I got 2 messages on here. Somebody says, keep playing Christian Walker. A couple guys messaging in on that. So they keep him in your lineup.
I don't know how everyone didn't take his trade bait a couple weeks ago when he was the hottest first baseman alive.
And I like Kaboom on your team. I think I love that name.
Thanks.
All right, on to Chris.
Who's in first place?
Hey, you are, but you're not the champ. That's the belt. That's the trophy.
Chris and PJ.
I was looking for your name. I had to go way up to go find it. It wasn't really. It's been
way down.
No, it was up. I don't know.
Down.
Anyway,
I know you like to go down.
He does. Well, I got a story for you later.
That sounds like I'm going down on you, just so you know.
Anyway, Chris and PJ. Chris with a solid or a victory, a 5-4 victory over PJ. Chris all offense, PJ all pitching. Another 70 quality starts for PJ, so that's impressive. Close. They tied in runs and homers were pretty close. It was 3, and then PJ, just like me, 0 stolen bases. 1 save for PJ, 0 saves for Chris. So those 2 are going to have some work to do. But PJ's strikeouts and quality starts are high again. I think 5 out of the 7 or 6 weeks, he's definitely been up there. His strategy has been working with a lot of pitchers.
Yeah, I put a close matchup on this one again. I feel like PJ's kind of played a couple close matchups over the past couple weeks. Maybe his team is just an average team. We'll find out this week when he plays the first place team, me. But Chris's starting pitching, it was great with the players that he did have pitch for him. But 2 quality starts, no saves, like you said, Domino. It's not going to get you done. The ratios are great, but no quality starts or saves just won't carry his team. And if you look at Chris's team, I think he's got 3 players on his team that just will never get him a quality start or a save. And I don't know if giving up on that will – so giving up on the quality starts, giving up on the saves, just for ratios and just for ERA will be enough to, win it. I mean, it's possible. We have seen it done. Memo did it that one year. I don't know if it was luck or if it was just, right place, right time. But I don't know. Chris has kind of been sitting back every year. He sits back, does very little, has a lot of cash. And again, looking at his team right now, it's, what place is he in? He's down in the bottom, right? I think he is.
He's in 10th.
Yeah, so 10th place team again. I mean, it's the same.
His pitcher got blown up today.
Yep. So same song, different year. And then PJ, I put down Ryu, Strasburg, and Tanaka pitching great with 2 starts each. They did really well. And I go out on a limb and say that Ryu might be coming into his own in his 5th or 6th season in the States coming from Japan. I think he finally has figured it out. They always talk about like a hitting coach doing better for a hitter. Like all the guys, going to the same guys that JD Davis went, they're his hitting coach. But I don't know if it's anything, but Rio in the offseason, he went to the same pitching coach that Pedro Martinez used back in the day. I don't even know the guy's name. I read a little blurb on the Athletic the other day. The LA version of the Athletic, and I don't know. He's coming around. He says he wants to pitch for another like 10 years. He was talking to Ichiro in the offseason, and he changed his diet. He lost like 15 pounds. And if you ever seen Ryu pitch, he's kind of got like a gut.
He's a
But
fatty.
what?
He's a fatty.
Yeah, he is a little bit fatty, but he's lost 15 pounds. And 15, I mean, to me, 15 pounds is something. But I think if you're a pitcher, 15 pounds could do a lot for you. So I don't know. I would tell you right now that there's no way in God's green earth that PJ knew any of that going into this season, and he just drafted Ryu because he liked the way he looked.
Well, him and Ken were probably going at him pretty hard.
But then you know what I'm going to get in like a week? I'm going to get an email or a tweet. A text from PJ. Oh, I saw this in the Washington Post, and I read this a while ago, like he did at the draft. He sent me something a week later. No, sorry, PJ. You did not see anything about Ryu, and if you thought he was going to be this good, that's a bunch of bullshit. Because no one did.
It sounds like he could get Aaron Judge for you for Ryu right now. That's what I'm saying. I think he could offer that to you and you get Judge.
I'd do that if he wants to.
There you go, PJ. I got you.
Wow, PJ out there. Who would have thought
he would have to watch this and then get to that point and then make the trade.
That's the biggest hard on you've had for an Asian since Ken.
That's good.
Ah.
But PJ,
the third spot on this permanent. I'm trying.
you gotta try harder.
All right.
I know, but I will say you're a way step up from Sean, because Sean just kept talking over and over again and didn't have any good one-liners like that. But PJ had good hitters. I can see. I'll be honest. Like PJ, some of his guys on his team, he might have some of the best hitters on his team that could carry him to win a championship, if you will, than anybody else. He has a good core hitters. And if Altuve was healthy and stealing bases like he used to, it could even be better. Yeah, I know he's on the IL right now, but it's a good core hitters. I will say that he's got an excellent core hitters.
You were getting a little staticky there.
Yeah, you might want to check
Me?
Mike.
Yeah.
Better?
I'm gonna say that the thing that seems to be differentiators, like right now, differentiators to me are the stolen base and the saves. And no, it's one or the other. It seems like these things keep popping up on the stolen bases or saves, and it seems to be somebody those are the two categories that people have a tough time dominating.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a couple teams have all the dominating start or save guys and stolen base guys. Like Max is pretty loaded in stolen bases and that. So yeah, you're correct on noticing that kind of trend in those two categories. You all good, buddy?
Better or no?
I'd say get rid of the headphones.
Yeah. I say get rid of them.
And the Cubs flag.
Can you say something? Maddie? Did we lose Maddie again?
Maddie, can you hear us? I don't think you can hear us. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties.
Can you hear us, Maddie?
Those. Can you hear me when I unplug or no?
No, we didn't hear anything when you're unplugged.
Yeah, we asked you if you heard us. How about now? Test it. Can you hear us? All right, we'll just have to continue without Maddie.
Oh, well, we got no Maddie.
Wow. Oh my God,
That's
the viewership just went up.
All right, we'll move. All right, he's back.
I'll move on to the next one. I'm going to go get a different set of headphones.
Okay. So, Dave, we'll move on to Scotty versus Memo. Scotty, love the name. As always, you have not let us down yet. A tie for you guys this week. I think going into the season, most of us were predicting number one pitching staff versus Number 2, Memo offense. Memo losing pitching, Scotty winning pitching. Memo 7 quality starts, but lost saves, Ks, ERA, and WHIP. Very good WHIP by both of them. Scotty 0.94 and Memo a WHIP of 1, but end up on the short side of losing 4 of the 5 pitching categories. So another week of Memo losing pitching, but it was to a pretty good pitching staff this week.
Yeah, I think with Memo, he should be happy with that offense that's coming around. Kind of surprised. I mean, he didn't lose by much. I mean, to do a 264 and a 1 WHIP, 264 ERA and 1 WHIP, and to lose out, that's a tough week. Pretty much
Absolutely
would have beat most anybody else. Good for him though. His pitching's coming back around. 7 quality starts, and he lost Kluber, so he should be sort of happy with what's going on there. How you doing, Maddie? Can you hear us?
I take that as a no. I take that as a no.
But yeah, and interesting, look at stolen bases and you look at saves. Both are active. And they've got good teams. So Memo coming down from, I think he was in last place at one point. So he'll get up there. He'll be fine. But interesting 5-5 for both of them. They should be pretty happy.
All right. Maddie is, I don't know what's going on. Maddie. So we'll move on and we'll get them caught up.
All right.
Niz versus your boy Max versus your boy Niz this week or last week. 5-4 win for your boy. He was texting me and Maddie to let us know that George Springer is the fantasy god, and that was really the reason why he won. And I'm not gonna say he's a fantasy guy, but he definitely was the big reason why he won, even though he lost 4 out of 5 offensive categories to Max. But he was pitching again, came through. But Max's ERA 4.19 and WHIP of 122 really wasn't great. So
no, I mean it's kind of interesting when you have a guy get you 10 runs, 5 home runs, and 10 RBIs. That's a ridiculous week, and you get beat, and you love black guys. You love black guy porn. You name your team after. It's kind of weird. But you can't pull out maybe he does pull out. I don't know. You can't get the offense going, which is amazing. And good for him. He pulled it out on the back side. Sorry. With the pitching category, which again, if you went up against some other people, would not have happened. So it all comes down to matchups, and I think that's why he likes those Roto League stats. And I get it. I look at those too. I look at who overall is, doing the most runs or the most, because that tells you who's going to balance out and probably win those matchups at the end of the week. But 5-4, kind of surprised with Max. 11th place. Got to do something, bro. Got to either come up with a trade or fix your team. Got to look at and analyze what's going on. We're 7 weeks in now. So you got to make some changes and figure out what your problems are.
Especially with him dominating those stolen bases. He had 7 again this week. Definitely should be able to help some teams that are struggling in that category. So be interesting what he's going to do after pretty much trying to punt last year and looking forward to this year. So
right, and the 368 and 350 on base percentage, their guys are hitting. So those are going to be good offenses throughout the year. If you don't have a good offense like Maddie, you got a good offense. But if you struggle, you're going to struggle against them.
They are. Yeah. I'm not sure where Maddie's at still. Text from him. All right, he's trying to get back in, so not quite sure what he's doing here. He left. So he sent me an invite, but all right, here we go. See if we can get Maddie back in here.
Also, I'll say Niz, 56 innings pitched, 72 strikeouts. If you can always go above your innings pitched with strikeouts, that's awesome. So he's always going to challenge there depending on his matchups.
Sorry, I'm texting Maddie. All right, we'll move on to the next matchup of Ken versus Drew. Where are we here? Ken versus Drew. Ken with a big win, 7-3 over Drew. Took 4 of the 5 pitching, 7 quality starts. A whip again of under 1, 0.99. 60 Ks for 60 innings. OBP of 347. Let's get it done there. 12 homers, 41 runs. The only thing was really weak was 24 RBI, so he had a lot of solo homers there. But yeah, Ken taking care of business again. Another week.
Yeah, another, he's somehow in ninth, puts up those numbers. I mean, sub whip. You look at Drew 249 with 108. I had Drew being a favorite into the season. I mean, he's sixth, so obviously he can end up in first by the end of the season. So just really good matchups. And then depending on how the weekend goes, I was talking to Maddie about this. It's just like, it seems when I would win well or do well in the playoffs or win the championship, when Saturday and Sunday came, those guys like performed. But then when I'm struggling and you need some help and the weekends come and you don't get it, it's weird how those seasons go. But I bet I think I watched this one because it was pretty close throughout the week. And then Ken probably just had a couple nice weekend days and was able to pull it out and get a good big win. I mean, that's a big win right now. 7-3. PJ beat me 8-2. Having those differences are going to really propel you and keep you up in the upper 1 through 6 categories.
You know how to add Maddie into this conversation? You know how to do that? Or
let me see. Hold on.